I think the best thing about this is that we're finally going to get to see a film without Wolverine in it.
I completely agree.
And it isn't that I don't like Wolverine, it's that he's overexposed.
Yeah, yeah. The the metaphor that wasn't a metaphor. The comparison you made for Wolverine and Johnny Depp was incredibly apt.
Well, that was Vince.
Well, yeah,
But yeah, he was right about that. And once again, I'm with him on that. I like Johnny Depp, but I'm sick of seeing him right now.
yeah.
Yep.
I kind of like when you said that. I'm like, that's exactly right. I'm like, I constantly kind of talk like I don't like those people, and
Yeah,
I
right.
do. It's just I'm tired of them.
Yeah. And let me ask you this: do you think that anybody's going to go see the Wolverine sequel?
I will.
'Well, yeah, I will too. But what I mean is, anybody as in, will it do guns? Because the first one was huge box office, but it fell off extremely fast.
Um, I think for the general public, you're gonna get the action guys, because I know a lot of people that were just like, oh, it was a good action movie.
Yeah,
So you'll probably get them. Despite all the bitching and moaning, you're probably gonna get the majority of the geeks,
yeah.
just because.
Well, you'll have a lot of people who will go see it just so that they can complain about it. I
Yeah,
think people do this. Well, obviously, Vince and I do this. We went to Twilight twice.
I
I
didn't go to
mean,
Twilight.
well, fair enough. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, but I do
I
ask
did
people to
see
do it
I did
sometimes
see it
just
on.
so they can feel my pain.
I read the book though, so that should count.
You actually read the book? See, I haven't even been able to make myself sit down with it for that long.
Well,
You know
see,
what I mean?
here's
Like,
here's the thing. I read the book way back before it became like the hugely popular thing that it is today.
so what possessed you to do that?
It was IMDb. There was like all these posts that were like, if you like Anne Rice, Twilight is the new vampire thing. I was like, all right, I'll check it out. I like the early Anne Rice stuff.
And it was nothing like that.
No, it wasn't. I constantly tell people they're not vampires. They're pixies.
Oh yeah,
I,
yeah.
I, I was hysterical because I was just driving around and I said that, and my friend in the back of the car goes, "No, you do not disgrace the good name of pixies that way."
So X-Men.
Yes, yes. Hey, there's an X-Men named Pixie. It ties in.
Oh, is there really? I didn't even know that.
It's a newer character.
Bryan Singer lost some respect for me with Superman Returns. And I don't think it's because the man makes bad movies. I think it's because he didn't understand Superman.
Oh, he clearly didn't understand Superman, but he also clearly made the movie he wanted to make.
Well, yeah. So
I didn't like
good,
the movie he wanted to make, but
good for him. Well, see, the thing is, Eric, I've made movies I like to watch, but they don't necessarily show them to people.
Michael Bay makes movies he likes to watch.
Well, that's obviously true. I just think it's time for Singer to come back to something he's good at, and he was clearly good at X-Men. So I don't think there's any way he'll mess it up unless he just gets a bad script.
Which, well, even then, he kind of co-writes the scripts, or at least strongly goes over the scripts.
Yeah, he has a lot to do with story points. And we were talking about teen angsty stuff. There was obviously some teen relationship stuff in X2, but it worked because it was put in the background. And the same kind of stuff was done in 3. And the reason that didn't work because it was in the foreground.
And they took Rogue's powers away.
Well, yeah, and that. But I mean, who cares about a love triangle between Iceman and Rogue and Shadowcat? Who cares?
Well, I think it could have been done if she didn't just show up in 3. Like she's a cameo in the first movie.
Yeah, and not even the same actress.
Yeah, yeah. Well, same thing happened with Pyro. But if you'd established the character, I think
Yeah,
it
you're
would
right
have
about
worked. And maybe foreshadowed it. I don't know, but
when they, I know I'm jumping all over the place. There are certainly some characters I hope they don't do,
such
I,
as
such as Jubilee.
I could see them doing Jubilee. I'm not particularly a fan of the character, but I could see it being done.
Because you see it being done well. She has the worst power ever.
Well, that's true, but she was in X2, so they probably won't do her.
Well, she was a cameo next. I mean, other characters have been. Oh, I see what you're saying though. Yeah, they can't do her now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dumb. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, they can't do her for the same reason they can't do Iceman as a young character. He's already been done as a young character. And I always thought that those were strange decisions that got made, where it was like, we're going to take characters who used to be founders of the X-Men and make them in high school and have Cyclops and, I mean, not Cyclops, but, have some of these other characters, Storm and people, be,
I was actually always okay with Iceman. Because one, I tend to forget he was one of the original X-Men.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't make that big of an impact on me. But I think for the way his personality is supposed to be, it makes sense that to make him younger. At least for an introduction. Because if you introduce a guy like that older, he kind of just comes off like a dick. because he's kind of I mean, but then again, in the movie, they didn't really make him like carefree and jokey.
No, they didn't. He was pretty serious, really.
And I actually liked him, particularly in X2.
I liked that actor a lot. Do you know where he got his start?
Animorphs?
Yes.
Yeah, I used to watch Animorphs.
Well done. I did too, but only for him. Nobody else. They didn't cast anybody else right in that show. I mean, like, they had no acting in that show except for that guy.
I remember liking Tobias, but because I read some of the books, and I don't know if it was just I liked the character, if I did like the. I don't remember. I haven't seen the show in forever.
Well, the problem, of course, is that Tobias is a bird.
That's true.
Which means that his acting is all voiceover. So we saw him in the pilot, but unless you remember that, who knows if he was a good actor?
That's the only episode I do remember, because I remember they were in an arcade playing Beast Wars arcade game. I was like, "There's no Beast Wars arcade game."
No, I was a massive Animorphs fan when I was. I still have, I think, all the books packed away somewhere. And the biggest problem with me for that show was that the Andalites had these big, like, breathy mouthpieces.
I don't remember anything. Like I remember what the Andalites looked like, but I don't know if that's from the book.
You remember that they have no mouth.
Yeah.
And that they're telepathic.
Yeah.
In the show, they have these 3 slits where their mouth is supposed to be.
Yes, I recall this.
That is stupid. Anyway.
Yeah.
But no, that's where that guy got his start. And did you also know that he has a twin brother?
Yeah, he's on Smallville. He's Jimmy Olsen.
He was on Smallville. They killed him off.
Yeah, and he turned out not to be Jimmy Olsen.
And he turned out to not actually be Jimmy Olsen.
Which is just weird. I mean, I didn't watch the episode because I didn't see that season, but that's just weird to me.
This is Smallville. You can't put anything like that past them.
I know.
Yeah.
They're a soap opera with superpowers.
Back even in the early days, Clark's ship could save people.
Yeah.
It healed people. As soon as you have that as a plot point, you can do anything.
Yeah. And Jor-El was evil.
And Jor-El was evil, except he's not evil anymore. You know why? Because they kept going.
Yeah. He wasn't really evil, apparently. It was like, conquer the humans was a good thing.
Anyone who kidnaps a teenage girl and then makes her think she's Kryptonian and gives her superpowers is evil.
Yeah. That's something Brainiac would do.
That is something Brainiac would do. In fact, I think Jor-El did more evil things than Brainiac.
Oh, but I loved Brainiac so much.
He was great. Yeah, well, that's because I like Spike.
Yeah, okay, I'll give it. But it's because I like Spike, and Brainiac's my favorite Superman villain. So.
Yeah, and he was cast right. I mean.
It's especially for what they were going to do.
That character. Yeah, it was great.
X-Men. With the minute and 30 seconds we have left.
With a minute and 30 seconds. Well, ultimately, I think all this is a really good thing. I think it's going to be a way better movie than what's going to happen. And I think it's a lot like, actually, if I can compare it to Watchmen, and they were going to do a bad thing, and now they're going to do a good thing.
Well,
and so...
Well, here's the thing that I'm a little worried about, is that the guy that did Wolverine, the director, he did not... I don't know if he didn't like the movie that came out, but I know he was vehemently protesting it as it was being made. Like, he wanted a different movie.
Oh.
I don't know if Bryan Singer, since he left the franchise and now is coming back kind of after the failure of Superman Returns, I don't know if he's going to be able to be like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, good call.
On the upside, he is doing a movie with a crapload of mutants, so maybe they'll be like, all right, you have enough characters.
Yeah.
But there's never enough characters.
Yeah, but I mean that's why X3 was so bad.
Yeah,
That's why
yeah,
Final Fantasy
I
was
know.
so bad. Yeah. It sounds like we agree.
Yeah. I'm kind of cautiously optimistic, I think is what I'd say about it.